What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Thursday, December 23rd. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. And finally, shout out to No House Advantage for being the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up at No House Advantage. Get up to $25 on your first deposit. And we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with John Collins, Sadiq Bey, Alec Burks, Miles Turner, and Hamidou Diallo on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. In first at number 5, we got the big man Nikola Jokic, center eligible, 11,300, projected for 62.3 fantasy points. The goal, 63 fantasy points. Optimal lineup 24% of the time. People are going to be down on him after a rough one yesterday. I'm not going anywhere because this is as good of a matchup as you are going to find. 34 minutes for Jokic in a massive pace-up spot against a bad Charlotte D. 30 real points. 15.5 rebounds. Yes, 15.5. 7 assists, 2 stocks. I've got him at 1.83 fantasy points per minute in this matchup. And I don't even think that that's all that crazy. He is the best fantasy point per minute guy on the planet right now. And I'm not changing anything. It didn't work yesterday. Doesn't change a thing. The ceiling on Nikola Jokic is massive. And so is the floor. I'm going to Jokic. At number 4, I'm looking at Cam Reddish. Had a huge breakout game. Shooting guard, small forward eligible, still just 4,300. The Hawks are missing like 6 or 7 dudes. Reddish projected for 31.5. The goal's 33. He's in the optimal lineup 30% of the time. I gave him 36 minutes. He's basically a 0.85 fantasy point per minute guy. It's a lot of scoring, 18 real points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 stocks. It is a pace down spot against Philly, but they're a little dinged up as well. He's going to fall into a ton of minutes. Reddish could actually play more than 36 minutes, and I don't think it would be all that crazy. Shooting guard and small forward eligibility is massive. He's just way too good of a value on a slate like this. At number 3, we're going to Caris, LeVert. Shooting guard, small forward eligible, 6,400. Projected for 40.5. The goal's 42. He's in the optimal lineup 31% of the time. It's looking like Malcolm Brogdon is going to be out for this one, so if Malcolm Brogdon happens to be in, LeVert will fall a little bit. 34 minutes, massive usage bump when Malcolm Brogdon is not on the floor. So I've got Caris LeVert in for close to 1.2 fantasy points per minute, 30% usage, 23.5 points, 5 assists, 5 boards, 2 stocks, and a massive pace-up spot for Indiana against the Houston Rockets. Not a very good basketball team. They gain 2 possessions over their average, and Houston's defense is not all that much to write home about. So Caris LeVert, much like Reddish, shooting guard, small forward, excellent options today across both positions. Back to Atlanta and back to Delon Wright here at number 2. Didn't work out as well as you wanted it to yesterday, but that's not slowing me down. He played a ton of minutes. It's going to happen again. Point guard, shooting guard eligible, only 4,500. Projected for 32. The goal's 34. He's in the optimal lineup 32% of the time. I gave him 35 minutes. That's even more than I gave him yesterday. 10 points, 6.5 boards, 6 assists, almost 2 steals, a half block. Pace down against Philly, but again, for 35 minutes, you're going to have a really hard time finding somebody playing that many minutes per dollar on a day like this, and he's not a bad fantasy performer just in general. He's a 0.9 guy, so 4,500 for 35 minutes, point guard and shooting guard eligible. There's not many options that you can get to today that are better than that. In fact, there's only one. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, and then let me know in the comments who your favorite and least favorite contenders are. And don't forget, sign up at No House Advantage using the promo code Awesemo. Get $25 on that first deposit. This one's easy. Power forward, center eligible Willy Hernangomez is your number 1 contender. No Joval today for the Pels. I'm assuming Willy Hernangomez starts. I gave him he's 4,600. I gave him 28 minutes. He could conceivably play upwards of 32. He could play as low as like 20. He's a good play no matter what happens in that range. If he plays 28, you're going to need him. Projected for 36. The goal is 34.5. So he's over 50% of the time hitting his goal. 36% of the time he's in the optimal lineup. 1.28 fantasy points per minute in this spot against an Orlando team that is barely made up of NBA players. 14.5 points, 13 boards, 2 assists, maybe a steal, maybe a block. Don't overthink it here today. Willy Hernangomez, assuming he starts. If he doesn't start, you're still liking him, and then you like Jackson Hayes. But Willy Hernangomez right now, your number one contender. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Thursday, December 23rd. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We're back again for Christmas Day, and then another edition of the Contenders.